Hello there, my YouTube friends. It's been a while since we've given you sort of like a cancer update. Basically, I'm still alive. There you go. There's your cancer update. End of story. Bye bye. Yeah, I'm still alive, as you can see. I'm still going strong. There's no change there. So for some of you that were hoping to see is going through the sort of the deathly side of it, and you might have to wait a little bit longer, guys, because I'm still going strong, and hopefully that's not going to change for me for quite a while. I am having issues, but they're not massive issues, and whether they're related to the cancer side of things or not, it's hard to say. The issues that I have, I've basically, my vertigo came back again. Thankfully I haven't been at the gym while it was there, so that's not so bad, and I'm on some sort of fairly strong tablets to solve that, so that's sort of getting back under control again. But when I was having it, my god, there were some rough times during that bit of it, because it was just knocking us for six. So it's not too bad. I'm getting back on top of that now with the vertigo side of things. The cramps, I still get massive amounts of cramps in my neck. I mean, they are pretty damn, when they happen, for those few seconds that they're there, and it feels like an eternity, you know, because it's that gripping. And when people know what cramps are like, you can imagine it being in your neck itself, you know, it can become extremely uncomfortable, you know, to the point of it being painful, you know. And sometimes I can ease it off quite quickly, other times it can, like, feels like an eternity, but it might only be 20-30 seconds of it, you know. But 20 or 30 seconds when you're in that type of thingy feels like a lot longer, guys, you know. It really does. Again, now that one I know is due to the radiation therapy I had around the neck area, you know. It's dried out a lot of that area, and that's one of the things I'm just going to have to put up with. There's not a lot I think they can do about it. I'll have a word with them next time I eventually see them, but it's not a lot they can do. Yeah, I have spoken to one of the consultants on a couple of occasions, but to be perfectly honest with you, I ended up getting in touch with Rachel, my Macmillan nurse, and saying, look, can you get me off this guy's books? I don't feel like he gives a shit. He's literally on the phone less than 2 minutes, and I mean less than 2 minutes. You know, it's literally a case of, how are you? And I went, not too bad considering. He didn't even ask us what the considering was. He just says, oh yeah, well, everything's going great, so we'll just let you go, and I'll be in touch with you in another 3 months' time. And it's like, that's it. You're not even going to ask any other questions. Yeah, it's just like he doesn't care. I'm alive, and as far as he's concerned, it's almost like he thinks I'm cured and I'm done, and that's it. You don't need to think he's... Now, fair enough, I can understand if he wants to get on to the next person and deal with them. I don't have a lot of issues, but to be made to feel like somebody doesn't give a shit about you, you know, and that you're just not thingy, just isn't good, you know, isn't good at all. His bedside manner isn't very good. Yeah, he's probably clinically brilliant at what he does, you know what I mean. I'm not going to knock him for that, because he is probably clinically brilliant at the side of things that he does, but his bedside manner leaves a lot to be desired, you know. And I don't need somebody to be mollycoddling us or anything like that. I don't need that. That's far from it. But I just want somebody that I feel like actually give a shit, you know. I mean, that's one common courtesy I think you deserve, even if you're not dying of cancer, is to feel like somebody gives a shit when you're talking to them, when you're thinking that they're willing to listen. So I had a word with Rachel, and Rachel says she was going to try and get us back with Miss Uzi here again, which means I'll be happy as Larry if that happens, because she has got a great bedside manner. I can have a laugh with her, you know. There's always a bit of a fun and a joke on between when that, and she knows not to sort of pull any punches and shit like that. And Rachel's the same. Rachel never pulls any punches. She'll tell us straight. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to, is getting back to that. Another sort of issue is still to do with the swallowing. I cannot, it's not because I can't swallow, I can swallow. Again, it's just that a lot of things get stuck in the back end of your throat down here, and then it builds up and builds up and builds up, and then I've got to either have plenty of water there to get it down, which then just sort of, to me, ruins the whole point in eating when you're having to drink so much water. It means I'm not getting enough, as much food into us, because I'm getting filled up with bloody water, trying to drink so much water to get the food down, because it gets stuck in the back of the throat, right in the back of the gullet. And I can't, no matter how hard I try and swallow, it just won't go down, especially if it's a dry type food, you know, and food dries out very, very quickly in my mouth. You know, I can have the moistest chicken going, but by the time I've chewed on it a little bit to be able to swallow it, it's already starting to dry out. You know, any meat products are the same, potatoes and everything else like that is always the same, and it ends up putting us off wanting to eat. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, nowadays, I mean, you can see I'm sitting in the car right now because my wife's in Home Bargains. As if you've seen any of my other videos that's out, you'll see that lately I've been going through a lot of different protein. You know, I mean, the protein video I've just put up quite recently, that's probably, maybe it's been sitting there on my thingy for about 3 weeks before I've put it up. I've gone through most of that. I think I've got one of them, and that's probably less than a quarter of a bag left of one. My wife's now in Home Bargains just picking up a couple of cheap ones until there's another good offer comes up on my protein or on bulk powders, you know, so I can pick up some more bigger ones and better ones, you know, and more flavours, because right now you can't tell, like, the Home Bargains, they're cheap, but it's like, you know, you get choice between chocolate, vanilla and strawberry, usually that's about it. So that's basically almost what I'm living on. You know, I'll get up in the morning, I'll have one for my breakfast after I've done my teeth and everything else like that I need to do, and swilled out my nose and everything else so I can breathe properly. I will literally have a protein shake with 2 scoops of protein in order to try and get the amount of protein in a day that I need. Instead of having just 1 scoop of protein, I've got to put 2 scoops of protein in. Dinner time is usually the same. I'll have a couple of scoops of protein, and if there's no food left from the day before, like any meats left from the day before, that's all I'll have, just a protein shake. If there's some meats left, like say if I've had, I don't know, chicken sausages or chicken chipolatas, or if I've had chicken the day before and there's some still left over, I'll have a bit of that, but I'll be drinking it down with the protein shake in order to get it down, is because, like I say, it gets stuck in the throat and it really puts you off eating, guys. It does. You can't believe how much I do not enjoy eating. Food doesn't taste the same as what it used to, you know. It's not the same. Foods don't taste as good as what they used to me. And I didn't want to eat. If I could live off of protein shakes and not have to eat at all, man, that's what I would do. Yeah, I really would, because it's just so shitty having to deal with life like this, you know, where you're struggling to swallow and all that type of crap, you know. It's just really bad, and I don't enjoy eating it all, and I'd rather just drink a protein shake. But I know I can't just live off them, you know. I might even have a third one on the night time if I haven't getting enough protein in during the day, because my third meal, which will basically be like the sort of the nighttime meal, it'll be whatever meat Yvonne decides to make, you know, whether it be the fajita night or whether it be a burger night, which even if I have a burger, classically you look at a burger as being a burger in a bun. I don't, you know, it's very rare I'll have a bun. It'll literally be just the fucking burger, you know what I mean, and there might be 2 of them, but that's what it'll be. And it might be, there may be some sort of sweet potato fries or something like that, you know, just to sort of give us something else there. But I can't say I enjoy them. They can taste okay, but they certainly don't taste wonderful or taste amazing or anything like that, you know. So it gets really hard for us in that respect, you know. And I don't like living like that. It's horrible, you know, and not enjoying food the way I used to, not wanting to eat and having to drink everything that I get, because it's easier that way. It's just quicker and easier, and it's a lot less freaking hassle for us, you know. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I still have going on, bar the fact when it cramps up bloody big style. And the other issue I think is sleeping. I've gone to a point where, yeah, you can understand possibly that when I first got told I had cancer, it was difficult to get to sleep. You know, there was a lot of stuff buzzing around my head continually. But my sleeping's gotten worse of late. It's really got worse. I am still getting sleep, but I'm not getting any deep sleep. You know, there's a difference between just sort of what I almost class as kipping and having a deep sleep, a deep recuperative sleep. I don't get that. I don't get a deep recuperative sleep. I can be up till, I think before I started doing a bit of sleep deprivation technique, I used to be up till about 2 AM, just sitting doing whatever, and then I would go to bed, and I would lie awake, and I might sort of start to drift, and then wake up, and then start to drift, and then wake up, and then start to drift, and I would literally guarantee you'd be looking at the clock every hour, you know, give or take 10-15 minutes, I would be looking at the clock pretty much every hour, and it's like, when am I going to get to sleep? When am I going to get to sleep? For God's sake, when am I going to get a bit of kip? And that would go on until I would eventually go, you know, I might as well get up, and that might be not till 11 o'clock, because I'm trying to get that little bit of rest, that little bit of kip. Excuse me, that's not COVID. I'm trying to get that little bit of kip between hand, and to get as much of that as I possibly can, because I know I'm just not getting any deep sleep. And it got to the point now where it's worse again. You know, I'm now doing almost a sleep deprivation technique in order to try and get on with things. So it's like, now I'll be up till say maybe 3:30. Then I'll go into bed and I'll read for anywhere from half an hour to an hour to try and tire myself out. And then I'll still find that I'll be waking up every sort of hour. If I'm lucky, I may, and I mean may, get a couple of hours. I think the most I've ever had is 3 hours solid, but that's rarer than rock and roll, so shit that I get that. You know, it's generally, I'm looking at the clock every hour. Yeah, so that's probably the main one. That thing is that I don't get a proper restful deep sleep. You know, and that's the hardest thing, I think. It doesn't seem to be affecting us, which is weird. It doesn't seem to be affecting us. I'm not tired throughout the day. I'm not in any sort of bad way. I'm not in any bad shape through it. I'm just not getting the recuperation that my body probably needs because of the fact that I'm bloody thingy here. You can see my wife's back again. She's managed to get us some protein, thank Christ, because I was desperately running out. So like I say, you know, it is a case of that, the sleep side of it. Though I still feel rested, which is weird when you can consider I'm not really getting much in the way of sleep. I still feel very rested and I still feel okay. It's not seem to be bothering us at all. I don't know if you can see the sort of blackness in my eye around here. This isn't to do with, well, I hope it's not to do with sleep deprivation. It's all puffed up and what have you, and it's quite sore at the minute. I don't think that's to do with the sleep side of things, but you never know. But anyway, guys, there's as brief as I can be with it. You know, a cancer update for you guys that are sort of still interested in how I'm getting on with the cancer side of things. That is how I'm getting on, guys. You know, so thanks for those that have watched and those that care. Again, if you've got any questions out there, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments below, and I'll try and do my best to answer them as best I can. And thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you in the next one. This is the Bearded Nudie Oaf, and I am out of here.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,